It costs your bank about 50 cents to cover you when you're short, and they charge you $35. And with one quiet move, they can charge you that 35 10 times over for the same slip, turning it into $350 for being short just once. That's not a glitch in the system. In 2010, a federal judge read a major bank's own internal files and found that it was the system, and in his words, the sole motive was to make you overdraft more. This is the reorder, and this is how one fee becomes 10. So here's what doesn't add up, and what almost everyone gets wrong about it. This is just the mechanism, how the order of your purchases, and not the purchases themselves, sets your fee, who really pays it, and why the one law built to stop this got killed months before it could start. It's a US bank in this story, but the trick, reordering your day to multiply a fee, travels anywhere. So let's start with the reorder, because the reorder is the whole thing. Here's the part almost nobody knows. When you tap your card, it feels instant, but it isn't. Because the decision that changes your balance happens later, at night, in a batch, when the bank runs the whole day at once. You chose what you bought, but the bank chooses the order it subtracts them, and only that second choice sets your fee. So start the day with $100. You make 10 small purchases of around $10 each and one big one for $100. Run them in the order they actually happened, small ones first, and your money lasts until near the end. So maybe the last purchase overdraws, and that is one fee. Now the reorder. Sort them largest first, and the $100 charge goes through first and drains the account to zero. So every one of the 10 small purchases behind it now lands against an empty account. Same purchases, same amount short, but 10 fees instead of one. The reorder alone turned a $35 problem into $350. And this is not hypothetical. In that Wells Fargo case, the court record showed a customer who was $49 short, paying $143 in fees, and another who was $120 short, paying $506. The fee is per item, and the number of items is the bank's choice, not yours. Which sounds insane, unless covering you is genuinely expensive. So let's price it using the government's own numbers. The typical overdraft is about $50, paid back in about 3 days, and the bank's actual cost to front you that money is under 50 cents. Now count everything against it, the overhead, and the rare loss when someone never pays it back, and even then, the regulator put the all-in cost at no more than about $14, while the fee is $35. So the standard overdraft fee is not the cost of a service, it's a multiple of it, a courtesy that costs pennies, priced like a penalty. But whether this actually touches you comes down to one thing: who really pays it? And it's not who you'd think. It would be comfortable to believe this is everyone, once in a while, but it isn't, because the whole thing rides on a small group of repeat payers. Among accounts that run a low balance, nearly 4 in 10 pay at least one overdraft fee a year, and about 1 in 10 pay 12 or more in a single year. And it makes sense, because the thinner your cushion, the more overdrafts a reorder can manufacture out of the exact same spending. So the charge isn't spread evenly, it falls heaviest, exactly where money is tightest, on the people least able to absorb it. A small, low balance group paying it over and over. That's the business. If you'd rather see the mechanism than the marketing, that's the whole channel. One a week. So a practice this lopsided, this engineered, it must have been stopped. Here's where it gets worse. That Wells Fargo case ended in a $203 million verdict. And it stood, but not because a court banned the reorder. An appeals court actually ruled the opposite, that states can't even touch how a bank orders your day. So the reorder stayed perfectly legal, and the bank paid only for one thing: lying to its customers about how it posted. Not the trick, but the lie about the trick. Then finally, a real fix. In December 2024, the government finalized a rule that the biggest banks would have to cap overdraft at $5 or charge only what it actually costs them. And it was set to start October 1st, 2025. It never did, because in May 2025, Congress voted to repeal it, and the president signed that repeal into law months before the cap could even begin. And here's the worst part. That repeal used a special rule that bars the government from ever writing that cap again. So it isn't just gone. It's blocked. Permanently. The court didn't stop the reorder, and the one law that would have was killed and locked out before it started. And since then, the fees have been climbing right back toward where they began. So let's be exact, because exact is the whole point. No court ever made the reorder illegal. One bank paid only for lying about it, and the single rule that would have capped the fee for everyone was repealed, and then blocked forever, months before it could help a single person. It was never one fee. The reorder turned 1 into 10. The fee is a multiple of what it cost the bank, and the fix was cancelled before it existed. That is who gets your money. If you want the next leak, that's what subscribe is for. 1 a week. Because there's another fee coming out of your money every single year, except this one you can't even find on a statement. And by the government's own math, it can quietly remove about a quarter of your retirement. You never get a bill for it. That's